If you've been glued to your phone, watching democracy burn down in real time, you're not alone. You scroll past the headlines. Another ICE raid, another city being invaded by our own military, another blatant lie from the top of this administration with no consequences. And you feel it, that gut punch, that chest-tightening combination of rage, grief, and helplessness. So you scroll, and you scroll some more, looking for what exactly? Hope? Truth? Maybe a sense that anything we can do still matters? This cycle of consuming more pain in the hope of feeling less powerless, it's called doom scrolling. And it's not a flaw in your personality. It's actually a trap designed to make you feel stuck. Today, we're breaking that cycle because that same energy that fuels your outrage, it can actually fuel a movement. And today, I'm going to show you how. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Elizabeth Cronise McLaughlin. I'm a lifelong activist, a former human rights and Wall Street attorney, and for the last 15 years, I've been working with folks just like you who are trying to create change where they live to build a better future. If you like what you see here, please hit subscribe and that thumbs up on this video so you don't miss any one of our weekly videos on how to create change. Now let's get to it. Let's talk about why we doom scroll in the first place. The psychological term that you need to be familiar with when we talk about doom scrolling is something called negativity bias. Human brains are hardwired to scan for threats. This is actually how our ancestors survived saber-toothed tigers and civil wars and other crises over many millennia. But now we're carrying a supercomputer in our pockets that gives us access to every imaginable threat on demand. Every crisis, every horror, every injustice. To put it plainly, our central nervous systems are not built for this. Doom scrolling is actually your brain trying to stay safe. But when you overdo it, it overloads your system. It spikes your cortisol, it interferes with your executive function, and it leaves you frozen in place. It's like pressing the gas and the brake on a car at the same time. You burn out, but without moving forward. And here's what's worse. The people in power right now, they want you frozen. They're counting on you to stay overwhelmed, distracted, and demoralized. So the first truth we have to face is this: outrage is not the problem. Inaction is. So let's talk now about how we can reframe this. Here's how we reframe doom scrolling. The very fact that you're paying attention, that you're outraged, heartbroken, and maybe even obsessed with what's happening in this country and around the world, it means that you care deeply. And caring deeply is the foundation for every movement in history that has ever changed the world. So here's the key to this. You're not powerless. You're just misdirected. Instead of feeding your anxiety with more despair by doom scrolling on your phone endlessly, what if you use that attention to identify how you could act to, for instance, protect your neighbors from ICE, to build a local mutual aid group that helps people to stay fed and safe, or even to maybe run for school board or city council if there are issues happening where you live that really call to you? What if the thing that's breaking your heart right now is actually a sign of how you're meant to lead? Because your heartbreak and your obsessive doom scrolling is actually data. It's a map. And if you follow what's pulling you in with intention, it can lead you straight into real, tangible action. So now I want to get practical with you. I'm going to share with you now a 4-part process that we use with our clients at the Ripple Effect Institute to move from freeze into forward momentum. First, we have to engage in pattern interruption. And this one can be really hard if you find those screen time numbers ticking up on a regular basis, because it requires you to consciously decide to do things differently. When you find yourself unable to put down the phone, obsessively rolling through that news feed, say to yourself out loud, this is information, not activation. And then turn off your phone, put it face down on the nearest counter or surface, and take one deep breath, one pause. This single action will shift you back into a place of agency. Next, you need to move into emotional clarity. This is where you need to ask yourself a really basic question. What exactly am I feeling right now? Fear, rage, grief, maybe numbness? Identify the feeling and notice how it feels in your body. Now, ask yourself, What is the specific issue or story that triggered that emotion? That moment of emotional clarity can then become an organizing compass. Third, we need to localize that direction. Ask yourself, how is this issue showing up where I live? Is your school board engaged in banning the pride flag? Are you watching on helplessly as ICE raids descend on your neighborhood? Maybe your city council is criminalizing the unhoused. When we shift the national fire hose of bad news to the local ecosystem, we unlock leverage. And this is where the rubber really meets the road, because change is faster and builds more sustainably when we start local. Fourth and last, we need to choose the smallest brave step. This is where most people freeze. They try to leap into a full-scale movement overnight. And let me just tell you, that's a recipe for disaster. Don't do that. Ask yourself instead, what's one small, courageous action I can take on this issue this week? Maybe you can show up for a local meeting for an organization that's already doing work in the area that calls to you. Maybe you can direct message someone who's already organizing on that issue in your area. Maybe you can show up to an event and offer your skills to an organization, whether those are graphic design or running a spreadsheet or sending emails out to participants. Or maybe you can just listen to a marginalized leader in your area and amplify their work to your friends and neighbors. This is how action begins and then scales. Not by waiting to feel fully ready, but by taking the first brave step and then the next. I want to take a moment now to talk to you about what's possible. Because if this process feels supportive to you, it's because we're not meant to do this alone. Our new course, Power Lab, a 7-week course for emerging organizers to overcome outrage and build community action, is designed for exactly this moment. And it's designed to help folks like you move from outrage to real strategic impact. Every week includes video training you can access from anywhere, guided reflection to do on your own, and also one weekly live call with yours truly to provide you with direct support and immediate guidance on how you can make an impact where you live. You'll learn how to disrupt the cycle of burnout that plagues new organizers constantly, how to identify and map power in your own community, and how to start something sustainable, even with limited time, energy, or resources. And yes, we'll help you move from feeling frozen to actually organizing without sacrificing your mental health. You can sign up at the link below. Registration is open until the 31st of October, 2025, and class starts the very next day. And if you already know you're ready to lead something bigger, I want to invite you to book a course consultation for our advanced strategy incubator, the Ripple Effect Institute. The link to book a free course consultation is below. But no matter what you choose, the one takeaway I want you to walk away with from this video is this: don't stay stuck, start where you are, and take action. Here's what I want you to remember. Doom scrolling is a response to chaos, but real leadership in this era, it's a response to love. Love for our neighbors, love for our future, love for the possibility of what we could become. The people who came before us, the ones who built the civil rights movement, who organized for workers' rights, those who ended apartheid, those who worked underground in the French resistance to fight the Nazis during World War II, those who have worked in this country for trans and LGBTQ rights. They didn't have perfect plans, and they might not have known the end result when they began. They just kept choosing courage. And so can you. You already have everything you need right now to start making a difference. Not next year, not when you feel more ready, but right now. And all it takes, fundamentally, is putting down the phone and spending all that time that we waste looking at horrific news over and over again and deciding to redirect that attention into action. And we're here to support you while you do it. Sign up for Power Lab or book a course consultation on the Ripple Effect Institute at the links below. The world doesn't need more outrage. It needs everyday people to step up and start leading change. Let's get to work, and I'll see you in the next video.